Murders in the Rue Morgue is a classic. Based upon the Edgar Allan Poe story of the same name about a sailor and his orangutan who climbs up a lightning rod, tries to give an old lady a shave but winds up almost cutting her head off, and then he shoves a girl up a chimney. Well, this 1932 Universal movie takes that story and turns it into a horror classic. It adds in a mad scientist who performs crazy experiments, a strange lab assistant who has to do a lot of the dirty work, and of course a monster, this time a gorilla called Eric.
Don't be afraid, it's only a baboon.
I'm not afraid.
But despite being a horror, it's also a very fun movie, with two very different tones. On the one hand, you get to see these young Parisians goofing around, drinking and relaxing, with plenty of comedic moments, particularly from this guy, whose character's called,
Your name is Victor Albert Adolphe Jules Hugo Louis Dubois, eh?
Yes, sir.
Stupid. Incredibly stupid.
Yes, sir. Stupid.
But then you've got in the middle of all this lightheartedness, torture, serial killings, murder. This was a big deal at the time, when Universal was trying to push the boundaries of what you could show on screen, as they took an old short story and tried to modernise it by adding violence and trying to sex it up a bit. And of course it helps that it stars one of the kings of horror, Bela Lugosi. Every time he's on screen, he has you hooked with his wicked smile and unblinking eyes. He's a scary guy. See, look how scared she is. And his performance is as mesmerising as ever. Every time he talks, he has you hooked to what he's saying.
Heresy? Do they still burn men for heresy? Then burn me, monsieur.
He always creates these huge black shadows which make him seem more threatening and almost as if there's something supernatural about him, with this dark entity following him wherever he goes. And speaking of shadows, the lighting once again plays a huge part in these old black and white era movies. It looks great with some really creative shots. The backdrops all have these misshaped buildings, giving it an almost dream or nightmare feel. And then there's the man with the ape suit, stumbling around with his arms in the air. I love how everything in this film is taken so seriously, and yet when you boil it down, you've got a guy in a monkey suit. Stay classy, Hollywood. Some of the parts, particularly in the opening carnival scene, are a bit, dated.
See, Pierre, how brown they are. Is that their real colour, do you suppose, or have they painted themselves?
Oh boy. So some parts come across as awkward nowadays rather than funny, but otherwise it's a movie that still holds up and does a great job of taking a short story and bringing it to life on the big screen.